Yeah, it's
May tattoo.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gents, welcome to the Stump. I'm Ross with 98.1 The Max, and sorry we had to cancel last week. I got strep throat, chlamydia of the face, and I had to cancel with the Everdeens, but hopefully we get them back in maybe next week or the week thereafter. But I'm here with local, can I call it pop punk?
I mean, I think we moved past that. We're more just punk rock now.
I think we
Pop
kind of.
punk's
I still like the surprisingly brutal pop punk.
Yeah.
Surprisingly brutal pop punk.
Oh, this is gonna get good. Shamefinger, ladies and gentlemen, this is Shamefinger, Memphis's own farmer, Party Pat, Ryan, Saucier, and David Galloway. Gentlemen, thank you for sitting down and talking with us today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So what's been going on today?
What, today specific? I mean,
I had some
we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I got into work and I found like an old 1930s watch, and now I'm trying to find a movement to make it work because that's what I do.
Well, it's funny. That's the thing we always talk about. Like, you say there's always one guy in the band that delivers pizza.
Yeah.
Who's that?
That's me.
Ryan delivers pizza.
Yeah.
I know, Farmer. You work actually at a watch restoration.
Yeah, I work at a watch shop. I'm a watchmaking apprentice.
Okay.
So I'm training up and I fix up watches, and I've been renovating watches for sale and things like that.
And look at that haircut. That's a slick look. I want to see a good. When I walk into a watch shop, I want to see a guy who looks like he might have lived around that time when that watch was built.
That's why I didn't get the job, like the no hair
Right.
thing. They were like, get it out of here, man.
They're like, take your hat off when you walk inside, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys have been busy. I know I know you have two EPs or two EPs or one album, one EP already.
We got 2 EPs out, and we're dropping the new album on May 10th.
May 10th, new album,
Yeah.
and what we have a title for that one?
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that should be like that. Like anytime you say I'm going to play music, Mom, you're like you already have to apologize to your parents in advance.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm gonna take improv classes. Sorry, Mom. I don't mean to be disappointed.
Improv's not comedy. Are you part of that camp?
No, it's just disappointing.
Okay.
I can second that because I was in an improv troupe for almost 3 years.
Your parents just kind of go.
We were in an improv troupe together.
Yeah,
yes, we were.
Yeah.
If you remember, though, I tried so hard to get into that.
Yeah.
So, like, I kind of dropped through the bottom of disappointment here. Like,
You couldn't get even into
couldn't
improv.
get into the improv group. No. So I have to play music. Otherwise, I got to go as far as I can so I can come back up.
Well, we'll get into that because I think between the four of you guys, we're talking like 6 different bands as is right now.
Yeah, something
right?
like that.
But all right, so you got the new album, Sorry Mom, coming out May 10th. Where'd you guys record it?
We recorded at Move the Air Audio with Alyssa Moore.
Yes, very talented engineer and
Yes.
incredibly talented musician herself.
Definitely.
Yeah.
She runs sound down at High Tone. Definitely check her out if you like the sound down at the High Tone. Thank her because she's doing it. Her and Fish. Is Fish still working down there?
I think so.
Town moves fast. It's hard to keep up sometimes. That's awesome. And you got a show. Is this when's like the record release? It's going to be May 10th.
It's going to be May 10th at the High Tone. It's going to be us, Keels, and Lipstick Stains in the small room.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. This man is also in a very talented punk rock. Very, aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys. I mean, female. I don't like to use the female-fronted genre.
Yeah.
Like, I think that because that's not cool anymore.
Right.
But like, I mean, Xanthia, who sings in the band, I mean, she just rips.
Oh yeah.
She's pissed off about a few things.
Time. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, I can't blame her.
What are you saying? The man's sitting right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He's making it easy.
What?
You're supposed to be. I don't know. I'm gonna.
I believe he's commenting more on it's difficult to be a woman in modern society more so than her relationships.
Oh,
I'm going to Farmer.
I've been in the car with this guy before.
Whenever I have a complicated idea that I can't convey with words, I'm going to him.
It's what we all do.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of how I ended up being the de facto manager for the band. What was it? We did an interview with Mike Donahue years ago that never got published, and one of the things was like everyone goes, well, when you're in a band with everyone who has ADD, you've got to go to the guy that can say no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No is a very valuable word.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It used to be like, well, that sounds exciting. We'll talk about it later. Now we're just like, Farmer's over there.
It's really like when you're booking
Like that
shows.
concerning to
Yeah.
you. Fine farmer
Fine
now.
farmer.
Okay,
I
don't
have a
talk
lot
to me
of
anymore.
really bad ideas. I don't want any confirmation until you talk to him.
Yeah, but like it'd be cool like if we went with some of your ideas. What's an idea that you presented and you'd be like, and the whole band's like, what the hell are you talking about, Pat?
Well, when we were switching over drummers from originally we had TJ, who was wonderful, but now we have this guy.
Yes.
I really wanted to have
Hi.
a moment in the show.
Who plays guitar in Lipstick Stains, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, multi-instrumental man.
But I wanted to get like TJ up on a
God,
gurney
I remember this now.
and have him like
Oh.
birth Ryan.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And then Ryan would just go and play the
this
rest of
was-
the show on the drums.
I was
I
down.
remember that because I
I'm
looked
guessing
at
they
dead
were
in the
not.
eyes
Right.
and go, "What are you smoking right now?"
Because when he presented it, I think all of us, the first time we just thought it was a joke. We said, oh, that's just Pat being Pat.
Yeah.
And then about a week later, he goes, right, so I've got the doctor's outfit, but I can't find the gurney. What do you... No, we're not doing
It's a
this.
medical town. I'm sure we can get you to gurney out of a dumpster somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
So it'd be like the old drummer giving birth to the new one.
To the new one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was a beautiful metaphor, but mostly I thought it would be just hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's the craziest idea we've turned down from you either.
No, I don't think so. But usually I don't like glom onto them so hard until I've been like, look, guys, I have another one.
Yeah.
Look at this for me.
Everybody just puts out their cigarettes.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, what do you got, man?
pitch it. I think the craziest one that actually went through was this album cover is a picture of a tattoo
Oh, yeah.
that I actually got.
Okay.
So like it's on my butt.
All right, you
I
got
actually went out and got a tattoo that says "Sorry, Mom."
on your ass.
Yes.
Okay.
So that for the cover of it, but it's like zoomed in enough so you can't tell.
Did you do
really
this
where it
for
is.
the album, or was this a tattoo
For
that
the
you already had? And
album.
you're like, I can make an album out of this.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this
For the album.
was
What's
for the album.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's commitment, man.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm clapping for that.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think the other one that you came up with that we thought would be a terrible idea but worked out was the kazoo solo.
Kazoo
Yes,
solo,
yes.
yeah.
We were all like, all right, man, we'll let you try it. And then it was like, ooh.
Yeah,
I spent
Ooh.
weeks like in my room like just me and Audacity just laying down like scratch tracks of harmonies for this one part because I wanted it to get big and nasty near the end.
Yeah.
And then at one point I just looked over and was like, I don't need all this stuff. And I picked up a kazoo and I just wrote 3 little lines.
Screw guitars and vocals. We just need a kazoo.
Kazoos.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're not selling it for the entire thing. You showed up at band practice with an electric
I
kazoo.
have
Yes.
an electric
Yeah.
kazoo, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has a little piezoelectric pickup over the filament.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, the input is bigger than the kazoo.
Yes.
Like the
Yeah.
quarter
Yeah,
inch.
It is.
It's all very interesting,
Was
but
you-
it sounds awesome.
Did you get this off the dark web? Because I haven't seen anything that off the like.
Actually, Katie, the lady who is hosting our next show, she got it for me for like Christmas last year, and I am forever grateful.
That is a pretty cool present.
It is my favorite toy.
I had an ex-girlfriend that got me a ukulele, and then I think that, like, thanks.
I'm just picturing you playing ukulele
Yeah,
live.
yeah.
You're pretty
Like,
burly
it's like
dude.
in
Just-
Native Blood, you're just like this force of nature, and it's like, no, I'm going to break out the ukulele.
That would keep him guessing. That would keep him guessing.
Make it happen Saturday. I want to see it Saturday.
Saturday,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday,
Yeah.
420 Fest, Lipstick
Yeah.
Stains all playing that. You have a show this Friday?
Yep, at Pagan
Yes.
Mom House.
The
It's-
Pagan Mom House?
Yeah,
It's
it's a house venue. We do donations for traveling bands when we can't find them a place to be booked in town. It kind of started when Walt Stallings and Hardaway were desperate for a show, and it was like, hey, I got a friend who's got a house. If you got a PA, we'll start there. And then we started booking more shows, and eventually we found a PA at a Goodwill for $200.
What?
Yeah.
In this
Yeah.
town?
Yeah.
right.
How did a PA last at a Goodwill?
It belonged to one of the mega churches around here, and they got rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently it was out far in Bartlett, and one of our friends just found it because he likes to go thrift shopping all the time, and so they snatched it up. I then ended up finding like 2 really like heavy duty JBL speakers to go with it, so we've got this awesome sound
That
system.
had been in a car wreck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So they.
The PA had been in a car wreck?
Yes.
Yeah.
A church
It was-
PA was in a car wreck, and they just
No,
said,
the speakers.
forget it, it's going to
Yeah.
Goodwill.
We're
That's
not-
not good enough for Jesus. So give it to the punk.
When you sing it, does it come out in tongues?
Have every once in a while it starts feeling it and just rattles around.
It's intense.
Well, yeah, like Pagan Mom House it's just we have house shows to try to support music and help bands that don't have a lot of money be able to book shows and get at least a little scratch so that they can go to their next date. This Friday we're playing with 2 bands from Chicago. We're playing with Blind Adam in the Federal League, which, I mean, I guess the closest I would say is like country punk rock and roll, if I would put it something. Like, and then jumping on with them is Davey Dynamite and Friends, which is kind of like...
That's a name right there.
Yeah, it's like Davey Dynamite's apparently, like, he's like a folk pop punk dude that travels, and then now he's added to the band, and I listen to them, and they're amazing. Like, they're really fun, like, just great young kids from the way they sound. And then we also got...
those 2 guys are from Chicago.
Yeah, they're both from Chicago.
Yeah.
And then Surf Wax is actually playing from Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, right on.
So it's going to be a really nice lineup. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And that's at the Pagan House.
Pagan Mom House.
Pagan Mom House.
4029.
Who named this?
We were... So, with house
that
shows...
you?
No.
Okay.
So, like, I came up in, like, the punk scene in Memphis back in, like, 2009, 2010 when there were a lot of house shows.
Gotcha.
And, like, those house venues all had to have a name for where, like, what house you go to? Stash House, or you're going to, like, the courthouse or something like that. They're like, we need a name for this. And Katie lives there with her 2 daughters, so she's a mom, and she's also very pagan, where there's, like there's a lot of just... like different iconography
Katie Moore?
going on. Yeah, Katie Moore.
How you doing, Katie Moore?
Yeah, yeah. So Katie Moore, I help book there. It's Katie Moore's place. She helps like facilitate the hospitality there, and we just try to support music through it. But yeah, Pagan Mom House. It's 4029 Rhodes Avenue. The show's going to be at 8 p.m. and it's just a $5 recommended donation.
Love it. I like how the DIY scene is very much still alive in the punk scene because it's. I mean, I don't want to say like it doesn't get love from like venues or something like that because you can still book, but there's a lot of bands and it's like there's more bands than there are venues sometimes, and a lot of times it's hard to promote yourself to kind of like get to that next town. So like the pipeline that you guys have, it's just I mean it's awesome to see it.
And the other thing like I'm happy with like Friday we had like a lot of high school kids there. We try to do all ages and keep an eye on them. It's like a lot of those kids can't get into a lot of the venues in town, so we promote it as all ages and we just keep an eye on them. And like Friday we had a 16-year-old local singer-songwriter, Madwell, play, and she was amazing.
It's a good name.
And yeah, like it was just really cool to see like a bunch of like high school kids finally being able to go to a punk show or a show and have fun. Like
because what are you doing in high school besides being like the swim team or something like that? You know, like it's tough when you're in high school.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
where they wanted to push me into. Actually, that was middle school.
Middle school? Where I'm from, we didn't have a pool. Like, either of them.
No. Well, where are you from?
I'm from the middle of West Virginia, like the middle of nowhere.
How about these lights?
Have you seen these? These shoes! Shoes! They're crazy!
Oh, the middle of West Virginia.
Yeah, like, actually, like more this area right here. Oh, because this looks like the state.
Yeah. Got the
like down on the
witch's
palm
hands
down here. Yeah. Trying not to flip off the camera right now. But, you know, that's how the state looks. But yeah, pretty much I had a decision between playing music or meth, and I went with the music, which
Well, meth comes later if you stay with music.
My parents are disappointed. I'm a little disappointed. I didn't think that my life would go this way. I thought I'd be in a trailer cooking up some sweet crystal, and here I am singing in a punk band. I mean, where did my life go?
Punk is my anti-drug. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a really good slogan.
Kind of more accidentally.
And I hope you're telling these high school kids when you interact with them, you're like, hey, look, I was going to cook meth, but you don't have to either. You can start a band, and here we go.
No, usually it's the opposite. Like, I'm in a band. Look how poor I am. Go cook meth. I have trouble paying my bills.
Yeah.
Meth.
You've seen Breaking Bad. We don't have that type of
I don't have like cancer or anything.
Well, I know the chemistry schools aren't that good in West Virginia.
No, I make the backwood stuff. You put it in like a dish, tray, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Memphis is so funny because I posted on Facebook something about like, yeah, I'm real impressed by this, but tell me how to cook meth. And people actually started giving me the ingredients. I was like, you guys are out of your mind and you're going to get me kicked off.
That's a terrible idea.
It's a terrible idea.
I just imagine some guy. Okay,
Yeah.
what you want?
I gotta help this guy.
But
I
so
gotta
the-
tell him right
gotta
now.
help.
But some of the people giving me the ingredients were like, I'm like, you're using a lot of syllables. You don't use these kind of syllables when I'm talking to you. Like, you got the capacity. What are you doing? You do better. And Ryan, are you born and bred in Memphis?
No. I was born in the Boston area, lived all over New England.
Oh, go
ended
F
up
yourself.
in Dallas, and then ended up here. So my dad worked for American Airlines, so we traveled a lot.
Oh, that's a
and-
jam.
Yeah. So we ended up in Memphis. So I pretty much grew up in Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
From Boston.
Is he part of the FedEx wheel?
Yeah,
now?
that's how we ended up here. He was like,
Okay.
"Screw American Airlines, I'm going to the hub," and that's how we ended up here.
Careful, they were like, no, I was Delta.
I just fell asleep on a bus.
I guess this is where I go.
Megabus Greyhound.
I don't quite remember. It was painted with flowers.
I think
It was a hippie bus.
Timothy Leary was there.
Yeah,
It was all a good time.
I'm not sure if he was there. It was a little bit wiggly.
Yeah. And David, I know you got a bit of an accent, so
Yeah.
I don't know where to peg it down because I'm not gonna. You get Australia a lot.
I get Australia a lot, which
Oh.
is weird. No, I grew up in Glasgow, Scotland.
Okay, right on. That's awesome, dude. And when you come stateside?
I moved here in 2003 and did college, so I've been here about 15 years now.
Okay.
Moved to Memphis about a decade ago for grad school, which didn't pan out.
Okay.
But I started working at Apple, and I've been there for about the past 8 years, and then been playing with these guys for the past 4. So.
Were you playing in bands when you were in Glasgow?
No, I was playing Warhammer.
Wait, like the video game?
No, tabletop, man. Like
The Wii miniatures.
what
Yeah.
miniatures, you know.
Yeah.
just-
I'm ignorant. We're gonna learn something right now.
This is like real nerd crap.
The
man.
most
It's like Magic the
basic
Gathering, but like
You essentially build up an army of tiny little model soldiers
That
and
you
then
have to
they
paint
all
yourself.
go- that you have to build and paint yourself.
Okay.
And then you have like this table that has like all the scenery on it, and you roll dice and you charge. And
so like
people
Risk
die.
meets
Yes.
Risk meets Dungeons and Dragons.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Pretty
All right.
much.
I like how you have to make your own stuff before you show up. It kind of weeds out like all the people who are not
Right,
who just want to like I want to learn. So
Well,
like,
yeah,
no, we
You
want a
have to
game.
build from the
It's
ground.
Yeah.
expensive as all get out.
Oh, it
Really?
is.
Oh,
Well,
God.
I had,
That's what got me out of it.
My youth minister growing up was also a Games Workshop manager.
Okay.
So he had tons of stuff. And like stuff that the store would just be like throwing away, and so he passed on a lot of it to me.
Okay.
So that's how I got my start into it, and from there it's just been a maddening addiction.
I will say it's been amazing to find out because I felt maybe I'm more bro than anything else, but like start
okay,
playing
we
music.
accept you.
Yeah, we start playing music. I'm amazed by how many bands are in Dungeons and Dragons, like bands play Dungeons and Dragons.
It's funny that you
Yeah.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of us play D&D. In fact, that's how I met David, and we brought Party Pat in because I used to run some games for him. On this new record, we have a song called Nat 20 Light, which is about playing D&D on a Saturday night when you've had a rough week with your friends.
With a 20 rack of Natty Light.
But it's also a reference to when you roll the dice and you get a natural 20 and you have a critical hit. So yeah.
Well, like we had a guy,
Yeah.
we got a guy here. I won't out him, but he's on the country station,
Yeah.
and he plays Dungeons and Dragons with his friends, and he
Yeah.
called it Drinking and Dragons.
Yeah.
And they do it every weekend. Has his
Nice.
friends over.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's like this dirty little secret that no one wants to admit. But if you guys all say it and
Yeah.
say it proudly and loudly at the same time, it may become a movement.
I mean, man, it's huge now.
It's big.
A little secret. Every musician, super nerdy about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
100%.
90% of the people you meet, super nerdy about something.
And in the punk scene, I found it's like either D&D or Magic the Gathering. Almost all of them play it because it's like a way to kill time in between shows when you're on the road.
I was about to say it's a lot of times traveling is just hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Touring is a
Yeah.
lot of just
Yeah.
sitting around.
Yeah.
Except for our tour, where we ended up showing up to every show like 15 minutes before we had to be on stage.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
When was this?
Back in November,
Yeah.
it was our first tour outside of the city.
It was a lot of fun.
Man,
Yeah.
going to Uranus
I was about to bring
Fudge
that up.
Factory was fun.
Yeah.
Which was a surprise.
Uranus Fudge
Yeah.
Factory?
Oh, yeah,
we
it's
were-
real.
It's
real.
Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a city called Uranus, Missouri that has built themselves off of a third grade joke of everything's a reference to Uranus. Like,
I almost bought so many T-shirts.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have the money for
Yeah,
that.
no,
Yeah.
Away from
like-
back.
we saw a billboard. I think he sent it to me like on his phone because they were in a different car.
yeah.
And we actually, I joked about going, and we actually were like, well, how much time do we have? And we went, like, just on a whim, just went to this just butts.
Yeah,
The fudge was pretty decent.
Fudge was amazing.
the Uranus Fudge Factory had a gun shop inside of
Yes.
it. That was where we were in the middle of Missouri. So it's like
That's
you walk
nice.
in, they had all this fudge and candy, and if you walked like 100 feet back, there was an opening. It's like, here's a bunch of guns. Here's a 50 caliber rifle just sitting here.
Yeah.
And they had like shirts for their rifle teams that made jokes about Uranus.
There was some serious gun
Yeah.
power in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Like,
mess
it
with them.
wasn't a joke.
No, well, it's okay. So it's a fudge factory. Wait, this isn't the venue, is it? This is
No,
just
no,
a
this is
store?
just a place.
Wait,
Oh,
you-
okay.
You can get tattoos there too.
Oh, yeah,
right?
there was a
A tattoo
shop.
gun
Yeah.
shop, chocolate shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in
Yes.
Uranus,
And
Missouri.
then they also sold like specialty alcohol.
yeah.
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 The
God,
Mecca
what
of
else did
Missouri.
they have there?
That's what
Yeah,
it is.
that's-
I mean, they knew how to make a tourist trap. I was
Yeah.
thoroughly
See,
impressed.
this is what I get mad about. Like everybody kind of craps on the South for like
Yeah.
being like, you know, like because not for another. Being in Chattanooga, they sell fireworks, liquor
Yeah.
right next to each other on one of like the stops, and I'm like,
That's
how is this a
really-
good idea?
How is
Get
that
hammered,
happening?
and then you buy a
It'll be
lighter.
fun though.
Yeah.
The South knows how to party.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
You know the person who owns both of those establishments is just across the road in a folding chair going,
Yeah.
soon.
Well, it's like it
With
gets,
dying words of a redneck, watch this.
yeah, it gets
Yeah.
crazier in the Midwest though, because I remember like growing up, because I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Like we were somewhere like in Ohio.
I'm sorry.
Yes, it's a mistake on the lake. But I
How
remember,
about this water?
But I remember there being
You know, there's no
a drive-through
stuff-
liquor store, and then nearby, it's probably closed down there. There was a drive-through gun shop, so you could drive through, buy liquor, and then drive through and buy a gun all the same just trip.
I'm telling you, we're all this whole thing is all kept together with duct tape. It really is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's one stop on that tour in Uranus, Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the thing that stood out the most, or like?
Uh,
what
There was that
was the
one-
line? What was the line? What was
It
the route?
St.
It
Louis,
was-
Memphis, St. Louis.
to Kansas City, to Oklahoma City.
and then
Yeah.
Tulsa, and then Norman, and then home. Or is it
No,
Norman?
It was
Yeah.
2 dates in Oklahoma City. They were both in Norman, which is a
Right.
suburb of Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And then Tulsa was the last date, and then we headed home.
It was actually kind of funny because we were supposed to go to Kansas City, but that
Couldn't
fell
get
through.
anything booked,
And then we
yeah.
found
No.
out that the show that we had canceled in Norman
Was
because
still-
we actually messed up dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still had us on the promo,
So,
so we were like, Norman, let's go to
so
Norman.
it was a 10-hour mad dash drive from St. Louis to Norman, Oklahoma.
And we still stopped at Uranus.
Yeah.
That's how cool that
That
was.
sounds pretty
But
good.
yeah, that show was a standout because it was us wedged between two ska bands,
Uh-huh.
and there
Well,
was a
like
lot of
super
white,
reggae.
yeah,
Like,
super
yeah,
reggae, a
super
lot of
reggae.
white dudes in those bands with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
I call them leprechauns.
But
They make no sense to me because I went to Bonnaroo in 2004, and we might have bought something off somebody with dreadlocks, and I was like, from now on, 'cause it was like that stereotype. We're like, I think we're gonna ask him for it, and they're like, don't stereotype. I'm like, shut up, dude. We asked him, and he had that and more.
Yeah.
So like the pot of gold, whatever you need, is a white dude with
But,
dreadlocks.
yeah, that first show at in Norman was pretty amazing in the sense of we played second, and we've got some statements we make about our president that aren't too nice in a lot of our music.
They're a little judgy.
Yeah.
A little judgy.
And we cleared out the bar with with one of our songs.
Yeah.
But
They didn't get mad. They just said
we
no.
still got
They
they
just
still
walked
paid
away.
us,
I
and
think
like a
they
lot of
paid
people
us
left.
more than the guarantee.
We didn't have a guarantee. We didn't
No?
think we were getting paid, and we got
Nope,
paid.
That's fair.
And then there was this very sweet drunk couple who kept on saying
Oh
like
my
we're gonna
God.
be famous someday, and like was doting on us, and like they bought a bunch of our merch and actually made that stop worthwhile. Like
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It's the people that like you'd never expect to come up to you and be excited about it.
Yeah.
yeah,
And they were so excited.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
awesome.
adorable.
This is a Norman.
Yeah.
yeah. Like they actually like made us all take
Norman,
pictures with
Oklahoma.
them, like we were celebrities. And we're like, we're just some dumb punk band from Memphis. What is going on?
Making you
just a
autograph
little
their
bit of
shirt,
stuff.
which
Yeah.
is like a Carhartt
Yeah.
shirt. That's
And
cool.
their,
That's cool.
Basketball jersey. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was probably the highlight of the tour because the next 2 dates, no one since Oklahoma got hit with a really bad snowstorm the next 2 days.
I was about to say you're touring across the
Yeah.
Midwest and
God.
right
Oh,
there in the winter.
yeah.
We learned our lesson. We drove into a snowstorm in St. Louis
Yeah.
and blew out our voices every night
Every
because
night.
of the weather change. Like we completely forgot it's drier weather and it's a snowstorm.
The thing is, like, we'd go to a town and either the front would move in when we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in St. Louis, it was warm there all day until it got dark, and we came into town, and then snow.
Yeah.
And then like the next day, we showed
What are you
up.
guys driving in?
The
Minivan.
Shamefinger 1, I think is the USS Shamefinger.
I
Yeah,
didn't realize
it's a
I like it.
2008
The Shamefinger 1!
Hyundai Entourage minivan, and then Ryan and Xanthi were in their car.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which you guys
Yeah,
lost the
the
tire.
Yaris.
You guys lost the tire.
Yeah,
That was bad.
and then like we had to go to the venue to unload everything, and we were all
It was the same.
worried
That was
because
Norman.
they
Yeah, AAA
they
almost
were-
didn't pick
yeah.
us up. I got
Yeah.
there like as they were setting up. I like
Yeah.
ran in with my cymbals, and
Yeah.
one of the drummers let me use their kit.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Again, there was
Yeah,
no
that's
waiting
it.
for us
That's
almost
rough.
this entire
Yeah.
tour.
They had to lie to the tow truck guy, tell him that this is where our house is,
Yeah.
and they towed him to the venue.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
On AAA, I'm telling you, they're a
yeah.
godsend sometimes, man. They
Absolutely.
Yeah.
really help out when no one else has. I mean, we got social media and stuff like that. I remember a comic broke down in Texas, and Texas is like a barren wasteland driving across that sometimes. And then, but
You
they
can
were
see
able to
town
like
for
have
hours.
people in like the local comedy scenes come by and pick them up. But sometimes you're in a band, you're traveling 4 or 5 people. Sometimes there's just no luck, especially kind of weather like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we were prepped in the van in case anything went wrong. Like, I had my tools, we had a spare tire and all that. It was their car that wasn't as prepped. And, of
Yeah.
course, the way luck goes, it's not the van that anything goes wrong with.
Yeah.
It's the other car.
We got
I mean, it
pulled
worked
over
out.
just
Yeah.
before we got home.
Yeah,
too. That-
yeah.
that
Oh, yeah,
was-
we got
Yeah.
pulled over 10 minutes from Memphis on the way back from tour because I was too close. Like, I was just desperate.
Oh, yeah.
I was tired, and I was, like, too close to a semi. And this cop pulls us over and was just fishing. Like, he was asking for everything, and he almost didn't take David's ID because
Passport,
he
yeah.
uses a passport. And he was just trying his damnedest to get us to admit to having drugs in the car.
Did we cross the bridge yet, or were we in
Oh, we-
Arkansas?
we-
It was West
you could see
Memphis.
the bridge.
Yeah, we were like
We could see
literally
the bridge.
like we were
It's
we
brutal.
were like 200 feet
Yeah.
from the bridge.
Yeah.
Like, and it just like he ended up just giving me a warning if we drove back, but it was like really, really out of everything, this is the time we get pulled over. We're
Right.
about to be done with all of this.
You get a ticket or you get a warning?
I got a warning. It's
All right.
like I mean,
There was no reason for him to
Right.
give us a ticket.
yeah, his
Yeah.
reason was
We
I was
hadn't
too
done anything.
close to the semi in front of me, but it was like I was just waiting for the semi to get over so I could pass. And
That's when they tell you,
Yeah.
I'm doing this for your safety and the safety of others. And you're like,
oh no, this
Like,
trooper totally hoped we had drugs.
He thought it was Christmas.
It's
it's a band.
and well, that's like bands coming from the West Coast coming across from Texas.
Yeah.
They all get nailed in Texas.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
They always warn us before we go out there, man. You always got to watch
Oh man,
out.
last time I was in Texas, yeah, that was like the first time I was ever in handcuffs on the side of the road. I was driving spring break years ago with my friends, and we're going to Austin, and you're cutting through all those towns, but they don't have markings when the speed limit changes, and it's constantly changing from town to town, crossing like 5 of them. So the guy driving just was keeping with normal speed limit. They thought we get pulled over. The police read the tags wrong to the dispatch, and it came back as was the vehicle stolen out of Little Rock. So next thing I know, we're having to back up with our hands behind our back, getting handcuffed on the side of the road. My buddy's crying next to me. I was asleep. I don't have shoes on. I'm just like, dude, we weren't doing anything. Just wait on it. And it's like 20 minutes later, they find out if they reread the tags, but everything was wrong. He gets just like a warning citation and let us go. Like,
Yeah, empty
warning
stomach
citation
after that,
for
though.
being inconvenient.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Lovely.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they let you go, you won, man.
Yeah.
You
True.
won.
True.
Won
Yeah.
hands down, hands
All right,
down.
well, all right.
I got a ticket once for not having my lights on, like just when it was starting to get dark. I
Yeah.
was like, come on, man,
yeah.
come on.
Well, you know, it's like,
I mean, I know it's a safety concern, but it was not a concern at that moment.
well, there's 3 things when you're on tour. Like the car, you had car trouble, but did all the gear work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. Remember,
right, yeah.
my
Yeah, your
the cab
cabs-
I was working
Yeah.
with, someone had rewired it and not bothered to like notate it on the back of the cab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was running on 4 ohms, and my head needed 8
8.
ohms.
Yeah.
So like it kept. I'm glad it was.
So it would last until it started to like overheat a little bit. So halfway through each set, you would start hearing all this crazy feedback.
yeah.
And, yeah. But I mean,
yeah.
Tube?
No, digital. So it kept.
All right.
So what it would do is it would cut out because of the heat, and then it would restart the system,
Yeah.
and it would cut off and on, just like really quickly though.
Yeah, that's when you start paying attention to gear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you really start. Like I didn't really care about gear. When
Right.
they start like throwing. I'm like, I just
like,
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I don't know
You
what
gotta
this
catch
is.
up.
That's
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
it's
I'm like-
called like
yeah, cool.
Sparkle
Does it
or
sound
something
cool?
like
Yeah,
that.
that's all I care about. Does
Right.
it sound cool?
Yeah.
Everybody who wants like a certain sound should have like a sound buddy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
and I think they call
Sound
them
buddies
guitar
are great.
techs. I mean, but like,
Yeah, all of them are the gearheads. With me, it's just like I just like Fender basses and just want an amp that sounds loud enough.
you just like taking your shirt off.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
guy likes to take his shirt off during a show. It's the ladies. I'm just saying.
It's all solid under there. I have hugged this.
Well,
man.
now
It's
like my chest
hugging a
piece is
boulder.
almost completely done, so that'll be a new thing.
Hey, tax
Yeah.
return.
Yep.
I just got a letter from the IRS. They
Yeah.
want documentation.
Oh.
Thanks, Donnie.
I don't wish that. I don't wish car trouble or tax trouble
Yeah,
upon
no.
I got
anybody.
both. I got both.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm driving my girlfriend's car right now.
Because the car's in the shop.
No, the car is at my house.
Oh.
No, it is. It was
Yeah,
shot.
you know what?
So
I'm telling you, when your car is just when you can't even like bring it anywhere,
No.
it's like you're sitting.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna
Stay.
get all of my stuff out of it and probably scrap it.
I
I love the car.
1-800 car for kids. I'm telling you, get that karma back up before
Why
you're back
why
on the
do
road.
kids want my broken down car? That's my question. What did they do?
I think it's their drunk uncle. It's not their kid.
1-800 car.
I'm gonna put this car on. Put the steering wheel in my Polaris. That's right. So May 10th. That's rapidly approaching. You got
Yep.
the new album
Yes.
coming out.
Yep.
Sorry, Mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how many tracks we got on it?
12
That's
regular tracks
Hey.
and then a
we had
bunch.
a few ones for fun.
And then we
Yeah,
just
there's some
yeah,
fun
we
ones.
were just like
Yeah, just
go
some
big
fun
or
ones.
go home. So we decided to throw in a bunch of like dumb, fun, random tracks.
How was it? How was it doing this one compared? Because now you guys got your legs underneath you. You know what you're to expect now going to the studio together. How was this one compared to the other ones?
I
First-
think this process was probably our best one so
Yeah.
far. Like,
No, not probably. This is the
absolutely
this is the
Like,
most fun.
we had, as the four of us,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
had recorded just 2 songs previously.
Okay.
That are also on this album. We did that like months ago just to get Ryan kind of broken in,
Yeah.
get us all kind
Yeah.
of feeling it. This was at
Can't wait to
Alyssa's
break
own
his
space.
will. You know, put a stone in the ear
Yeah.
and ride him to the ground.
But then with this, I mean, there was a couple of the songs we hadn't really finished writing until we're in the studio, and so
It's the best time to do it.
absolutely, you know,
Yeah, it was like the first weekend was amazing. Like we got like 6 or 7 songs
Just
pretty much done within like
slaughtered,
3
yeah.
days.
Oh, you guys are cooking.
Second weekend we got a few of them done, but then 2 of them weren't completely finished. Second day was we had one song where we had like a verse and a bridge, and we're like, all right, we've got to knock this out, and we got it done in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And honestly, like that's probably the
It's
song
probably
with
one
like
of the best songs.
some-
on
Yeah,
the
it's
record.
one of our
Yeah.
favorites.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I
You,
like
you
the
didn't have
faster ones
time to
better,
beat it
but-
to death.
No,
Yeah, right.
You know, you
Yeah.
just had to like
It's
put it in
that-
there.
Yeah.
That was my first experience with like writing in the studio, so it was just kind of at first kind of nervous, like, man, I hope we can get it to where we want it to be. And with the song that he's talking about, when we finished it, heard it, you know, the mix is back and everything, was just like, I'm so glad we did this. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah.
on
Nice,
there, so.
nice.
And I think trying to recreate that, I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be.
yeah.
That's going to be tough because we had that energy. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That moment of, it's now or never. This is what we have to put down. We can't record again. We're running out of time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's
That's that fight or flight.
Yes, I'm so excited for everyone to hear it. Like,
Yeah. The song title, by the way, is called Mystery
Mystery
Scrapes. And it's definitely going to be a song that it's an emo song about having a hangover and going
please
to
don't call
work.
it anymore, so.
I joke about it.
I
that
know,
way.
I know.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely like a
Don't call
punk
it
song in a
emo
different way than we've ever recorded any music.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's-
definitely
yeah.
something very different. And
Yeah, it passed a certain. So mystery, like all I'm thinking about is like once you get older,
Yeah.
and you show up to work with like new bruises,
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah,
automatically they
exactly.
think you're an
That's
alcoholic.
exactly. It's actually about Dave and I lived in like kind of a punk party house like years ago, and it's
Yeah.
about waking up from partying the night before, completely hungover, seeing cuts on your body, having bruises, having no idea where they came from, and having to go through work and get through the entire day.
All
Like-
the while trying to find out what happened last night on your phone, trying to get
yeah.
who was I with last night, who did I come in contact with.
Well, it's like less even figuring out what you did last night, it's just knowing, okay, today sucks. I shouldn't do this tonight, but I'm going to do it again tonight.
Yeah.
So,
Having that moment like halfway through the day when you think about that morning and go, wait, who was that on my couch?
Yeah.
Random folks showed up.
I mean,
Yeah.
there was a verse that I had to cut, which is about like walking
Yeah.
into the main room and just seeing bodies just slumped over chairs and couches. Because we would wake up. I worked at Starbucks. He worked at Apple.
Yeah.
We'd have to wake up earlier than everyone else, like 6, 7, 8 in the morning, and just see like everyone passed out everywhere, like on the floor and everything, and just have to step over bodies and try to be quiet.
What was cool though is that our rooms were kind of like in their own section of the house. Like,
Yeah.
there was one door and we could close it, and Farmer's room was here and my room was down here. There's another door at the end of the hall. So if we wanted to, like, we could just evaporate from all that. We
Yep.
could just pull ourselves back, close
Yeah.
the doors,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
we're done.
Yeah.
We're not
Yep.
dealing with it.
You work at Apple? God, is it out east?
Yeah.
With that accent, they must eat you up,
Yeah.
man. They gotta love you.
I half expected you to like. You work at Apple? Can you fix my screen?
Oh no,
all the time.
Yeah.
especially with bands and stuff like that, because I watch people who I met 4 years ago who have the same exact phone and they're still like, I don't know, they're reading hieroglyphic
Hieroglyphics.
hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
I still said it wrong after you corrected me. But yeah, I bet you get farmed out from all that
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, they used to. One of the managers there, anytime like a really angry, upset, entitled customer would come in, especially female, she'd go, right, let's give him to David.
You're like melatonin. You're like, how you doing? What's going on? You're like,
give me 2 minutes.
just their head tilts.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell
No.
me about yourself.
Half of the record is dictated by he'd just say something and the rest of us go, yes, Dave.
Yeah. That's the advantage, man. Milk it for all it's worth, but I'm sure you already know that, sir.
Yes.
All right, we're going to wrap things up. So, new album, Sorry Mom, coming out May 10th. You have a
Yep.
show at the Pagan Mom House this
Friday.
Friday.
At 8 p.m. It's 4029 Rhodes Avenue, $5 donation. We've got the album release show May 10th at High Tone with Heels and Lipstick Stains. We
Yes.
also have another show in May with Jack the Giant Killer at High Tone Small Room.
Very talented
Uh,
dude. Wait, let's
Oh,
just
yeah.
compliment that kid, Jack Giant Killer. It's like ambient noise
cool.
rock,
Yeah.
and he
So cool.
puts projection screen behind him,
Yeah.
and it's like all kind of weird. It's got like this Nine Inch Nails kind of
Yeah.
feel to it, and he puts sound. They use some of his music on like Formula One. Like promo videos and stuff like that
Oh, wow.
overseas,
Yeah.
really cool stuff.
That's
so
awesome.
like, yeah, I mean, and you want to talk about pedals? He will make you
Yes,
feel
he will. Oh my goodness!
like
I follow him on Instagram.
Oh,
and, like,
I mean, he
all
builds
this
his
stuff-
own-
he builds his own pedals.
His own
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
Man,
cool.
out there,
So yeah, May
Oh,
17th at High Tone is where we're playing with him, and
Okay.
then we don't have any more shows until late June. So we've got 3 more shows in the next couple of weeks, and then we're gonna go on hiatus for a minute.
And then get a pedicure, get your breath in between.
you know.
Yeah. Well, mainly this man's
I'm going on
going.
vacation. So
Yeah, back to the homeland.
It's that Apple
for a
money.
few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody, Shamefinger, once again, thank you for coming in and sitting down and talking with us. I'm Ross 91 the Max.
Yeah.
Don't know if we have the Everdeens coming in next week, but we'll figure that out. And thanks for joining us. Where can they find your music?
Shamefinger.bandcamp.com, and and our first EPs are also on all streaming platforms.
All streaming platforms. And make sure you buy merch when you go to their shows, because that goes
Yes.
right into the pocket. But
That
thank
goes
you
a
very-
long way.
And it goes,
Yes.
does
Yeah.
go a long way.
Hi, Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
I apologize.